Hello, everybody. Welcome to Learn Mexican Spanish with Diego, episode 3, season 3. Today's episode is going to be very interesting. It's going to generally then talk about how to go to the doctor in Spanish. Okay? I'm really happy then to be with you this evening here. I'm in Mexico right now, so it's a nice, lovely weather. Okay, and then I'm really looking forward then to continue learning with you, and then I hope then that you guys can continue learning Spanish then as well. So before we start, I just wanted then to say thank you so much for your support, also for your nice comments that you have left me via Instagram. I also keep inviting you then to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also then to encourage other people then who are learning Spanish then to listen to my podcast. I would really appreciate it. And also a reminder then that we have the visual episode on YouTube. So if you like it, and then if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll be more than happy to reply to all of your questions there. So let's start. El día de hoy, chicos, vamos a aprender un poco acerca de cómo ir al médico o al doctor en español. Y quiero mencionarles algo al respecto. Creo que el asistir al médico o ir al doctor en español es muy diferente ir en México que ir en Estados Unidos. De hecho, el sistema mexicano sí tiene un tipo de seguro que es disponible para las personas mexicanas, es decir, para todos los residentes, que se llama Seguro Social. Y ese es un programa donde pues la mayoría de los mexicanos puede asistir a recibir cierto tratamiento. Cabe mencionar que en México es muy popular tener cierto tipo de, pues digámoslo así, farmacias donde existen consultorios y donde las personas pueden acudir a tener una cita médica. ¿Okay? Estos consultorios son privados y de hecho hay una mascota que se ha hecho muy famosa ahí, y que se ha hecho muy famosa en conciertos, que es el doctor. Es un doctor muy famoso, ustedes saben cuál es el doctor Simi. Y ahora últimamente cuando los mexicanos vamos a conciertos tendemos a disfrazar este doctor, y lo que hacemos es que se lo arrojamos a algunos artistas. Es no sé, un evento interesante, pero creo que es algo que ha llamado mucho la atención. Y como les comentaba, en caso de que, por ejemplo, necesiten ir al médico aquí en México, pues no existe, ¿no? Una restricción muy grande. En realidad también pueden acudir, incluso sin receta médica, y bueno, los pueden atender, ¿no? Y de hecho hay medicamentos que pueden comprar sin recetas, entonces es muy diferente, ¿ok? Aquí son más libres de buscar ciertas cosas, pero sí hay por supuesto algunas restricciones con respecto a cierto tratamiento. Algo importante es que no muchos doctores en México hablan inglés, entonces sí es muy buena idea que por lo menos aprendamos a decir algunas cosas para que pues no tengamos ningún tipo de dificultad al momento entonces de estar hablando con un médico, o sobre todo si tenemos problemas grandes y también si tuviéramos algún tipo de emergencia. Okay? So I was just saying then that the medical system in Mexico is really different from the United States or Canada or any other country. We do have then social services and medical services and all that, and yeah, but we also have then some drugstores that are like in every corner. They're very famous, and you can actually go there, and then if you have any problems, then they have an office that you can go to, and then a doctor will check you and then help you. You can actually then go to the next door and then get all the medicine, and then they give you a prescription and all that. Okay, so it's totally different than from what you guys will see in the United States or in Canada. But also then I want to mention that it's really cheap in comparison to the United States and Canada. So it's really affordable. And then also, I was mentioning about these famous drugstores that are almost everywhere. Then they have their mascot. You might have seen this one guy dancing dressed as a doctor. Then he is Dr. Simi, and then he has become very famous. And then we have this little stuffed bear. I'm not sure how to call it in English. Then that we throw to artists whenever we go to a concert. Then look, you can even look for this on TikToks, like Mexicans throwing Doctor Simi to artists or to singers, and then it's a very funny thing. Okay, so as I was mentioning, then you can just go basically to the corner of where you're staying, and then you will find one of these drugstores and all that, and then you can get the treatment that you need. Okay, of course, I would say then that the best service that you can get is in a private hospital. Okay, but anyways, so we're going to learn basic vocabulary because then it's important then to just to use the correct expressions then in Spanish, particularly then if your Spanish is limited or if the doctor's English is limited as well. Because what happens is that not many doctors speak English, so that's a reality. There might be then a few places in which then we have bilingual doctors. That's great, but then if you happen to be around an area where you might not find people that are willing then to speak in English with you because they don't know how to, then this is then a good thing to take into consideration. So we're going to be learning some vocabulary, okay? Vamos a aprender algo de vocabulario. As we used to then, I'm going to mention the word, and I invite you then to repeat it after me, okay? And again, just welcome. The first word, doctor, 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 or you can call it médico, médico, which basically translates to doctor, okay? As in English, as in Spanish, I'm sorry, we have then the feminine word, which is doctora, doctora. One more time, doctora. But for the word médico, we don't have a feminine, okay? We don't say médica, okay? There you go. So, doctor or médico, which means doctor. The next word. Okay. So now that we know how to say the doctor, then we're going to learn a few the problems that we might experience, okay, with our health. The first one, this one is a little bit complicated. Escurrimiento nasal. Let's try it again. Escurrimiento nasal. Escurrimiento nasal. Let me break it. Escurrimiento, escurrimiento nasal. Nasal. 2 words. Escurrimiento nasal means runny nose. So you can say, doctor, tengo escurrimiento nasal. Doctor, tengo escurrimiento nasal. Doctor, I have a runny nose. Doctor, tengo escurrimiento nasal. Next one. Dolor de oído. Dolor de oído. 3 words. Dolor, literally pain. De oído, ear. Dolor de oído. Dolor de oído, which is basically earache. Earache. The next word, this one's funny. Tos. 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 So basically, when you're coughing, okay, there you go, that's tos. I think I'm thinking about the verb toss in English, so it's just basically the same. Tos. Tos. Which basically, I'm sorry, translates into coughing. Or coughing? I'm sorry, I'm not saying it right. Sorry. Coughing or, yeah, well, you understand me, okay? You're doing this. Okay? Thank you so much. So that is tos. Tos. So you can say, doctor, tengo tos. Doctor, tengo tos. Next one. This one is pretty common then. Gripa. 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 Some people call it gripe. Gripe. Which is basically a cold. So you can say, doctor, tengo gripa. Doctor, tengo gripa. Or, doctor, tengo gripe. Doctor, tengo gripe. Basically, you're saying, doctor, I have the flu, or I have a cold. Okay? Good. Next word, or next phrase, let's say. Or next symptom. Dolor de cabeza. One more time. Dolor de cabeza. These are 3 words. Dolor. Try it. Dolor de cabeza. Dolor de cabeza. Which is basically headache. Headache. Dolor de cabeza. Headache. So you can say, Doctor, tengo dolor de cabeza. Doctor, tengo dolor de cabeza. Let's continue with the dolor words. So we have then dolor de estómago. One more time. Dolor de estómago. One more. Dolor de estómago. 3 words again. Dolor de, and this is the word estómago. Estómago, which is basically a stomachache. Stomachache. Very good. So you can say, disculpe doctor, tengo dolor de estómago. Disculpe doctor, tengo dolor de estómago. Here the disculpe is optional. Okay. Doctor, tengo dolor de estómago. Doctor, tengo dolor de estómago. Next one. Here we're talking about more complicated problems, okay? This one is varicela. Varicela. Varicela, which is chickenpox. Varicela. So then you can say, doctor, I have chickenpox. Doctor, tengo varicela. Doctor, tengo varicela. Okay, this is another one. Okay, the word is estornudos. One more time. Estornudos. Estornudos. It's actually together. Estornudos. And the word is sneeze. Sneeze. For example, you can say, Doctor, estoy estornudando. Doctor, estoy estornudando. Or you can also say, Doctor, tengo estornudos. Doctor, tengo estornudos. Okay? There you go. This is actually a very funny word. Thinking about it, estornudos. It's, I don't know. It just looks funny to me. Next one, one that I've been experiencing for a couple of days. This one is dolor de espalda. Dolor de espalda. Dolor de espalda. 3 words. Dolor de espalda, which basically translates into backache. Backache. Dolor de espalda. So you can say, doctor, doctor, tengo dolor de espalda. Doctor, tengo dolor de espalda. So that is dolor de espalda. Dolor de espalda. Dolor de espalda. Be careful, don't say espada, because espada is a sword in English. Okay, good. Let's continue. Another one that's very important. Fiebre. 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 And this one basically refers to fever. Fever. So you can say, doctor, tengo fiebre. Doctor, tengo fiebre. Doctor, tengo fiebre. I have a fever. Okay. Now that we learned then these words or expressions, let's review them. Okay, vamos a repasar entonces las expresiones que vimos. Okay. Okay, si estás viendo el episodio en YouTube, puedes ver la lista. Okay, if you're watching the episode on YouTube, then you can see the list. If not, then just try to memorize them. Okay, so I'm just gonna then mention them, and then I want you then to listen, and if it's possible, to repeat. Okay. 1. Escurrimiento nasal. Escurrimiento nasal. 2. Dolor de oído. Dolor de oído. 3. Tos. Tos. 4. Gripa o gripe. 5. Dolor de cabeza. 6. Dolor de estómago. 7. Varicela. 8. Estornudos. 9. Dolor de espalda. And 10. Fiebre. So then this is going to be an exercise then for those who are listening to the podcast. Now I'm going to say the problem or the symptom, and then you're going to say it in Spanish, okay? We're going to go backwards. Let's see if you can remember this backwards, okay? Vamos hacia atrás, entonces yo te digo el nombre del síntoma en inglés y tú me lo dices en español, okay? So I'm going to tell you then the name of the symptom in English, and then you are going to say that in Spanish, okay? So we're going backwards. So number 10, fever. Fiebre. How do we say number 9? Backache. That's right. Dolor de espalda. How do we say then number 8? Sneeze. That's right. Estornudos. Estornudos. And then how do we say chickenpox? That's right, varicela. Now, what's stomachache in Spanish? That's right, dolor de estómago. And what is then headache? Dolor de cabeza. And what about a cold or the flu? That's right, gripa or gripe. How do we say then coughing? I'm sorry then. You understand what I'm saying, I hope. That's right. We say tos. How do we say then earache? Dolor de oído. That's right. And finally, runny nose. That's right. Escurrimiento nasal. Escurrimiento nasal. Very good. Okay. Now, something that you guys need to take into consideration is that whenever we're using these expressions, we're going to be using the verb tener, the verb to have in Spanish, ¿ok? Es muy importante que recuerden que cuando estamos utilizando estas expresiones, vamos a necesitar el verbo tener, ¿ok? El verbo tener en español. Y aquí les voy a dejar entonces un pequeño repaso, ¿no? Yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, ella tiene, nosotros tenemos, ellos tienen, ellas tienen, etc. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, ella tiene, nosotros tenemos, ellos tienen, ellas tienen. I'm going to give you then some extra examples, okay? Me siento mal. Creo que tengo gripe. Me siento mal. Creo que tengo gripe. I feel sick. I think I have the flu. Another one. Tengo dolor de cabeza. ¿Tienes una aspirina? Tengo dolor de cabeza. ¿Tienes una aspirina? I have a headache. Do you have an aspirin? Okay, very good. Now we're going to learn some additional expressions that are, or basically some vocabulary that we can use in this context. Okay, so we have then 10 more expressions. So you want to see how these expressions are written, then you can go to the YouTube presentation, then you will see it. Okay? So, number 1, I will say it then first in English, then you will see it, you will listen to it in Spanish. Okay? I don't feel well. No me siento bien. No me siento bien. I don't feel well. There is an emergency. There is an emergency. Tengo una emergencia. Tengo una emergencia. Please call an ambulance. Por favor, llame a una ambulancia. Por favor, llame a una ambulancia. I need a doctor, please. Necesito un paramédico, por favor. Also, you can say, necesito un médico, por favor. Necesito un médico, por favor. Number 5. I feel dizzy. Estoy mareado. Estoy mareado. Number 6. I have a sprained ankle. I have a sprained ankle. I'm sorry. Tengo un esguince en el tobillo. This one's really long. Tengo un esguince en el tobillo. Number 7. My skin is itchy. My skin is itchy. Tengo comezón. Tengo comezón. Number 8. My leg is sore. My leg is sore. Me duele el pie. Me duele el pie. Number 9. Probably this one is important. I am allergic to. Soy alérgico a. I'm allergic to. Soy alérgico a. And finally, here's your prescription. Aquí tiene su receta. Aquí tiene su receta. Prescription is in Spanish receta, like a recipe. We use the same word. Yes. Okay, we're getting closer then to the final part of the episode. Now we're going to be learning some additional vocabulary. Then if you want to see then the visuals, I invite you then to go to YouTube. Okay? So, please, I want you then to listen to the next vocabulary words. Hospital. Hospital. Do you know what it is? Quite obvious. No translation needed. Next one. Clínica. 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 I think you got it because it sounds really similar to English. That's right, that's a clinic. Next one. Consultorio médico. 2 words. Consultorio médico. Consultorio médico, which is the doctor's office. Next one. This is a sign you will see everywhere. Farmacia. Farmacia, which is drugstore. Drugstore. Next one. This one's really funny. Band-Aid. And what I did, you should see what I did in the visual episode. Okay, that's right, which is curita. Curita. Band-Aid. Curita. It's not a little priest. The word cura exists in Spanish, I'm sorry, and then we say that is a priest. But then if you say curita, it's like saying little priest. But no, you're talking then about a band-aid, curita. Then we have venda, 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 which is a bandage, bandage. Another one that's really important, pastilla, 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 which is a pill. The next one, jarabe, jarabe, jarabe para la tos, jarabe para la tos, which is cough syrup, jarabe para la tos. And this one is also important, botiquín, 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 emergency kit. Okay, and then this episode is a little bit ambitious, so then I invite you then to listen to it as many times as you need to, so you can get all and just remember then all the expressions. Okay, we have some extra expressions. This is a little bit like informal. For example, you can say estoy malo. Estoy malo. This is like literally translating I am bad, but then you can say I'm sick. Estoy malo. Or you can say estoy mala if you're a woman. So if you're feeling sick but not so much, then you can say estoy malito. Estoy malito. Or estoy malita. Estoy malita. Or you can also say me siento fatal. Me siento fatal. I feel really sick. There's another expression that you can also use. You can say me siento terrible. Me siento terrible. I feel really sick. Muy bien. Muchísimas gracias por haber estado en el episodio del día de hoy. Espero que les haya agradado. Como les comenté, les invito entonces a visitarnos en nuestro canal de YouTube, así como también que puedan por favor utilizar nuestras redes oficiales y así entonces estén en comunicación con nosotros. Los invito a que pues bueno, le compartan este episodio a alguien que crean que le pueda interesar y también que nos sigan en las redes sociales, en Instagram, y que se puedan inscribir por favor a mi canal de YouTube. Espero que por favor puedan hacerlo y que lo vean, pues para seguir, ¿no?, trabajando en este proyecto que tanto me gusta. So thank you so much then for listening to the whole episode. I invite you then to share it with people who you think might be interested in learning some expressions then in Spanish that are related to this specific topic. Also, I would really appreciate it if you could join and subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Instagram. I would really appreciate that. And then thank you so much for supporting this project. I do hope then that you can continue learning Spanish. And also, as I mentioned, if you feel like you want me to talk about a particular topic, then please direct message me and I'll be more than happy to listen to your suggestions, because this podcast is for you. Okay? Muchas gracias, cuídense mucho y recuerden que este episodio es suyo. Recuerden también que un poco de español es mejor que nada de español. Okay? Remember, just like it's important to speak a little Spanish. Okay? So a little Spanish is better than no Spanish. Okay? Thank you, take care, and until the next time. Nos vemos la siguiente ocasión. Hasta luego.